Hi everyone. I hope all is going well for you guys. I can't believe we're near the end of the semester and this is going to be our last speech. I hope this class has helped you guys and helped you overcome your fears and anxieties. I know I still have some myself, but I plan to practice and go further. Today my speech is going to be on cat declawing. Cat declawing in New York became illegal on July 22nd, 2019, and I couldn't agree more that it should be outlawed. I have worked in the field for a few years now, and I've experienced before it was outlawed the post-operative complications cats can have from declawing. And a lot of those post-operative complications can lead to other things. If a nail isn't taken off correctly, it can regrow, which means there's going to be a nail and it can cause more issues, especially for the client and the patient. And it's a waste of money, in my opinion. A lot of these animals experience a lot of post-operative complications, such as hemorrhaging, lameness, pain that extends into their older life, and regrowth. The AVMA has done a study over the past 6 or so years before declawing was outlawed, and they came to the conclusion that if 37% of all cats exhibited severe pain for up to 2 weeks after being declawed, and that's for each paw, and not just one paw had severe pain. That's for all 4 if they were taken, or just the 2. Both studies were done on patients that had taken off both front paws, and then another study was done with all 4 paws. Both statistics were about the same. 26% of cats experienced severe lameness for up to 6 days after, and in the cats that were declawed on all 4 paws, this lameness extended up to 18 days, and it caused other issues such as weight gain, non-eating, lethargic, a grumpy cat. And 84% of cats that had been declawed further in life have back issues. This study was done by AVMA in 2015, and they tested kittens that had been declawed, and they watched over time, and as these kittens came back as older adult cats, they showed signs of severe leg and back pain, such as arthritis and things like that. Declawing, the procedure itself, you can do it in a few ways. You can take just a nail clipper and clip the nail off at the base of the knuckle so it can't grow back. You can take a laser and laser it off at that knuckle, or you can take a scalpel and surgically cut open and break off and clean that incision. Most commonly it's done either by a scalpel blade or a laser, and these 2 most common ways are actually the most painful. And because of these types of complications they can have during surgery and after, a lot of statistics show that declawing, compared to what your cat is going to go through in the weeks recovering, isn't worth it. PETA put out a statistic and report back in 2013 stating that 87% of all cats that had been declawed had some type of post-operative complication, such as hemorrhaging, nail regrowth, lameness, arthritis, back pain, etc. This study really showed in depth how this affected a cat's life. In my opinion, if you're going to have your cat declawed, I recommend 100% looking for other options first, because there are. If it's behavioral and your cat is just scratching at the couch, there's many things you can try. They have spray that you can spray on things that makes animals not want to go near it. There's scratching posts, there's behavioral classes you can take. You can have someone come in to your home and help figure out why your cat's behaving like that. And if it is more behavioral issues, your cat's aggressive, there are other things you should do and can do, especially seeing a specialist, which would help a lot. I've seen this procedure done, and just the thought of it made me feel pain. It's equivalent to someone cutting off our finger at this first base of our knuckle here, just cutting it off and letting it heal. To me, this is cruel, especially when there's other options and other things you can do to prevent having your cat declawed. In another study, there was 163 cats tested, and about 50% of these cats had more surgical complications during immediate post-op recovery than a normal spay, neuter, or a normal procedure. To me, this was alarming because spays and neuters and procedures like that are more open. You're cutting open to the insides, you're moving organs, you're taking things out. To hear that cutting off a nail, as awful as that sounds, had more complications than a surgery that can actually kill was very alarming to me. This study was done by the PETA organization in 2010. And since then, there hasn't been any study about this towards this topic, specifically about it being worse than having a normal spay or neuter procedure. I would like to find more statistics on that, but I searched everywhere and there hasn't been another, I'm sorry guys, another study done about that since. I did find different statistics done by different organizations around the same time. The AVMA states that 26% of cats that were declawed came back with nail regrowth within the next 5 to 2 years. And then the PETA organization said that 48% of their cats came back with nail regrowth. And nail regrowth is simply due to the procedure not being done correctly. If you don't cut far enough back or you miss a piece, this allows potential for that nail to regrow. And I just think taking that chance is wrong, because I've seen statistics back and forth that say most of the time it can happen, and it will. And it won't happen to just one nail. I'm sorry guys. It won't just happen to one. It'll happen to one nail, but it can happen to multiple. And the only way to correct this is to put your cat through surgery again. In the UK, I learned that 50% of their population was for cat declawing as only a need-to basis. Like there was no other option. They tried everything else. In the US, 80% of people said that they would declaw their cat first before trying other options, less obviously invasive options and less surgery. To me, this was astounding, because they're your pet. You're supposed to care for them, love them. You don't want to put them through unneeded pain. And declawing, in my opinion, is very unneeded. Especially cats that are both indoor and outdoor cats. These cats use their claws to protect themselves, to hunt, to survive, basically, especially out in the outdoors. And if you were to have a cat that's declawed on all 4 paws, not even just 2, it could potentially lead to their survival rate being decreased, because if this cat was to get out and be attacked by an animal or try to escape, it doesn't have its claws that it uses for a weapon. Declawing also has had some back and forth, like backlash between veterinarian clinics and clients. A lot of veterinarian clinics, in my experience, don't recommend nail declawing. They actually recommend nail covers. They're like little rubber things you super glue to the nail. Obviously, they're not 100% going to fix all the problems, because they can come off. The cats can chew them, bite them off, and it can cause complications if the cat really didn't want it on and it tried to pull it off and it got its nail stuck. There are many other things, though, that you can try. And I guess for me, the big thing is I couldn't wrap my head around why someone would want to put their pet through that pain when there are other options. A couple of things that I've learned throughout my research and throughout just experience is that a lot of people come into the clinic asking about declawing simply for minor things, like your cat will scratch on this certain couch, or the cat will come up and try to need you and you get scratched and you don't enjoy it. And a statistic by the AVMA reported that 97% of people declaw their cat for these types of reasons, not medically necessary or aggressive behavioral necessary reasons. Again, to me, this was just crazy to hear, because there are so many other options out there, so many less invasive options out there. And not only is the surgery painful and the recovery painful, and it takes away from a cat's natural self, putting your animal under anesthesia for any type of procedure is a risk. And I believe that risk should only be taken if it is 100% necessary. A lot of people have different opinions on this topic. I know PETA is 100% completely against it. They were one of the big pushers to have it outlawed, and they are working on getting other states to outlaw it too. I know in the clinic setting, a lot of people have actually came in and said, oh, they want to go to a different state to get it done because they can't get it done here. And I just think that it's crazy for someone to go through all that and to spend all that money when 98%, this is a statistic from AVMA, 98% of the problems that people come in with their animals and why they want them to be declawed can be corrected over time with patience. So that is another thing that I found controversy on. A lot of the websites and researches that I was looking at, their statistics weren't the same, but that's understandable. They're testing different subjects, different places. But a lot of the discrepancies I found between the two were PETA's statistics were actually lower for the complications and the percentage of complications that happen than AVMA's. And this actually surprised me, because I figured PETA not wanting the animals to be treated like this, their statistics would be higher. AVMA states that over the past 7 years, before obviously declawing was banned, that 62% of their clients came back with post-operative complications that were handled and taken care of. And then 36% came back with lifelong problems. And these problems included arthritis, lameness, and a more aggressive behavior. The aggressive behavior came from, in their study says that their aggressive behavior showed that this aggressive behavior was because the cats couldn't do what they wanted to do per se. It says that when a cat is stressed or in fear, they like to stretch their claws, and when the claws are stretched, their nails, I'm sorry guys, when their claws stretch, their nails retract, and that actually, to them, it's like a defense mechanism. It helps prepare them and whatnot. This whole statistics, for me, I didn't find to be 100% accurate, and I searched everywhere, and there's not many statistics that I could find, but the lameness due to declawing showed more as the cats got older due to age, along with arthritis and back pain. And I believe this to be because a lot of the procedures are very painful, and it's something that you're born with, that they're just taken off. I'm sorry, my stomach is so sore. this is the end of my speech. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I'm sorry it was kind of a mess. I hope to talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.